I love deadlines. I love the whooshing noise they make as they go by. Douglas Adams, English author. How are you? Yeah, this is a quick video to talk about the deadline that Chelsea have given around Enzo Fernandez. City need to stump up 120 million quid by tea time on Friday. Wholly unrealistic. Wholly unrealistic. And the idea that City are going to start dancing to Chelsea's tune is for the birds. Or it better had be. But we'll come on to that. We'll come on to that shortly because we have had some really positive news over the past few hours, really, overnight. Reijnders has been targeted and bid for by a Saudi team, which is good for the money. I can't pronounce it, so I'm not going to bother. 60 million quid, 6 million euros, advanced talked, positive apparently according to Ben Jacobs. So they view him as a world-class midfielder at peak age. I do not value him at 60 million. I do not value him or see him as world-class or at peak age either. But, I am the beholder and all the rest of it. But I think he needs to go. If he stays any longer, we'll be lumbered. 60 million euros for him is about our money back, isn't it? So you can look at the amortization of the original transfer fee. So hopefully they are good payers. Hopefully they sort of pre-closed him first. We don't want in dire situation that happened at Everton where the club accept the bid, the club think that the deal's going to happen, and then the player goes, actually, I don't quite fancy that. So hopefully they have pre-closed him on that. Because it just looks a bit silly, doesn't it? If anything goes the other way, if you look at deals that fall down because the player says, "Oh, I don't want to go there," then it's very disappointing for all concerned and time waster. But I think with him, he's wholly unsuited to being a Premier League midfield player. So. I'm glad he's not going to embarrass himself carrying on playing for a mid-table team. He'd go nowhere. But I thought maybe back to Italy might be on the cards for him. Portugal, no, they haven't got any money. Spain, again, he's not good enough for Barcelona, Real Madrid. Atletico Madrid are far too physical for him, and everyone else are skint members. So his options are probably limited. It's easy street for him. His days of playing in the Dutch national team are probably over, but given his performance in the World Cup, they're probably over anyway. I mean, I watched him beat Sweden 5-1. He was the attacking midfield player, and I didn't notice it. How do you know it? How do you not notice an attacking midfield player in a 5-1 win? Bizarre. His ability to ghost out of games is remarkable. So hopefully that that'll be done pretty quickly. We've also got Barcelona's second bid of around £55 million for Rodri's been rejected by City as talks continue, as you see from Ben Jacobs there. Well, is he for sale or isn't he? Because if we're arguing about 5 million quid here and there, then are Barcelona serious? I don't know. Is City's fee the fee? Or are they not? Or are the only journalists wrong and City aren't interested in selling? Either way, I don't want to sound like Chelsea and do like a big announcement around the deadline, but this needs sorting pretty quickly, one way or the other. I know which way I'd like it sorted. I'd like it sorting as in he's not going anywhere. But I think he's got shit show written all over this. I really do. I can see us middle of next week agreeing to some deal, some Ponzi deal with add-ons and all the rest of it, and then scratching around for a midfield player. And who's that midfield player going to be? I don't know. But how do we square this circle, right? They want him. We want more money than they're willing to pay. Have they even got any money? I was listening to something the other day saying they haven't even registered Gordon yet. Yeah, I know we go through this every year with the Barcelona, so it's not something I'm particularly bothered about. But they're looking at selling Ferran Torres. He hasn't gone yet. They've rejected PSG's bid. So maybe they up their bid, maybe they get that money, the check clears, and off they come and bid serious money for Rodri. But then that is bound to be after Friday, isn't it? So the Chelsea deadline has gone. Do I take that deadline seriously? Not particularly. Not particularly. Chelsea need the money, whichever way you cut it. If we're mad enough to spend 120 million quid on him, they'll take it any day of the week, particularly next week, I imagine. There is no way, in my view, City are closing a deal for 120 million quid in the next 36 hours. No. So Chelsea might as well come out and say it's not for sale. So obviously it is for sale. The owner's got a number. And listen, my view is I'm not paying any attention to that deadline whatsoever. And I doubt City are. But let's pretend it's true for the purposes of this discussion. Let's pretend it's true. What happens then? Because who do we get after that? Because who do we get? McAllister from Liverpool. Come on. I'm not having that. I'm not having him. Wharton, apparently not interested. So I don't know what we're going to do. I don't watch enough of European football to know a reasonable replacement. But what I do know is that Nico Gonzalez and Kovacic, Uwadi, and who's the other one? And Anderson are not good enough. Are not good enough or experienced enough in this division to do what we're looking to achieve. So I don't know. I mean, do we cough up now? Do we? It's absurd. Of course not. Do we give Barcelona a deadline and say by tea time on Thursday the checks were cleared? No, because they're not going to wear me either. They're not going to believe us either, are they? I would have given them a deadline last week saying put up or shut up, but that isn't happening. And I can't see these deadlines happening in club by club deadline. So Rodri, is he going to go? I've got a tenner at 7-1 that says he stays. So, let me know what you think about the glasses in the comments below. I've got these orange ones and I've got black ones. So I might buy the black ones for tomorrow's video, and we'll I might do a poll, a YouTube poll. We'll see. But in all seriousness, Rodri, he's got to stay. He's got to stay. I've got a tenner at 7-1 that he does stay. So I put my money where my mouth is. This is not betting advice. Don't put any money on anything I suggest. I'm invariably wrong. But let's say it all happens today. Torres goes to PSG. They stump up for Rodri today. We're still not going to walk to Chelsea at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning with 120 million for Enzo Fernandez, are we? There's no way we're paying that for him. Saying that, I said the same about Anderson. Well, does it sound realistic to you? 80 million quid for Boadi, 120 for Fernandez, that's 200 million, plus another 116 for Anderson. So we're going to spend 300 million quid on 3 midfield players in one summer. I don't know, we'll get some back. If we get a bit back for Rodri, we get a bit back for Reijnders, we'll get some back for Marmoush when he probably goes. Ignore it. I'm still convinced he's going to go. I don't see where he fits into this team. So it's going to be an interesting few weeks, but I don't like the busyness. I don't like it because people do daft things under pressure. No good decisions are made late at night when you've got cash on the hip. Are they? None. Never mind when you're buying footballers, life in general. So, but a lot of teams have got to do a lot of business, haven't they? Liverpool aren't been particularly busy. Arsenal, a lot of noise, Van Vinicius and all that. But have they done a lot? Have they done enough? They've got Guimaraes, I suppose. I still don't rate that Gyökeres highly. So they're forward, the top of Alvarez. United, what they've done, bought Tillemans. If I hear one more person say he's the sign of the season, if he's United's best player next season, they'll finish 6th. So I'm not worried about them at all. They've got Andre Santos from Chelsea. No, so a lot of teams have got to do a lot, haven't they? So there's a lot of money flying around, a lot of players flying around. I don't like us being involved, I like us being settled. And if we go in with this squad we've got now, I'm happy with it. I mentioned yesterday, Am I falling into the Savinho trap of, oh, he's not live in pre-season, let's keep him? But then he goes, he wants to go to Spurs, doesn't he? And if you want to go to Spurs, right, if you want to go to Spurs, that shows a lack of ambition in my view. It also, it takes out reality. You know, he's jumping up and down saying, I should play more regularly. On what grounds should you play more regularly for Manchester City? On what grounds? I don't know any. He's scored 2 goals a season. And don't do a lot else. You know, your work rate's poor. You don't create that much. You run down blind alleys. You can't kick it properly. You can't shoot hard enough. Your crossing's average. So on what grounds should he play full-time for City? He's like James Trafford. If you ask me. Too busy. Performances don't justify your yap. It gets on nerves. So he can go. But then Pedro Neto, we're going to get him. I'll stick Foden on the wing. Forget Pedro Neto. Stick Foden on the wing. But we'll finish with some good news. Talk about winger Jeremy Doku signed a new contract to 2031. This time last year, I thought he might be sold because his output from goal perspective isn't high enough. It still isn't. And he still hasn't demonstrated that his fitness can sustain 3 games a week on a regular basis. And I know he does a lot of twisting and turning. I know he does a lot of acceleration. I know he gets shit kicked out of him. But yeah, he needs to be more robust. And hopefully, as he grows, he says in his interview that he's not the finished product. I don't think his agent would have said that in the wage negotiations, but but there we go. So it's interesting to see where we end up, isn't it? Let's see where we end up. Geronimo, the reserve keeper's also here now. But I think the squad's all right. I'd tell Barcelona to piss off and leave it at that. And then we're fine. And then we can argue around the edges around Savia. But if you're buying structural players, the season starts was on Sunday. It's Friday tomorrow. You know, the squad needs to be registered. Buhari's still not here for whatever reason. I can't imagine that's a difficult deal to do. All teams do friends of skint members. We're the only show in town. And he's an 18-year-old kid from Lille. How big can his demands be? Just get that sorted. Because as soon as he's in the building, the better. Helps settle down and things like that. So he's got Turkey there as well. So presumably it's a language thing, isn't it? So yeah, let's get it. Let's get him over the line. And let's move on. Because like I said, the squad's good enough. I'm going to do a more in-depth video tomorrow about build-up of the Community Shield. So, yeah, I just want to talk about Enzo Fernandez deadline. I thought it was fucking absurd. You know, you probably bought a house and the seller says, we need it sorted by this time. Yeah, well, dear. And what? You know, and what? Well, I'm not doing it tomorrow. I'm doing it next week. That's the end of it. You know, so I don't, deadlines, we're all had deadlines in work and life, haven't we? And sometimes they matter, sometimes they don't. If someone's waving 120 million quid at you, that deadline don't matter. You can pay it when you feel like. If you're spending out sort of money, you can pay it when you feel like. Trust me, right? So if we want him, he won't be bought tomorrow. He'll be bought next week or the week after before the transfer window. This deadline has got niche to do with it, nothing to do with it at all. Forget it. Right, and on that note, thank you. Make this bar. Please like and subscribe and comment about my classes. I'm interested in any and all feedback. Thank you. And tomorrow I'll have a mate with me to discuss the upcoming charity shield. So thank you very much. Hit the notification bell so when that comes out, and take care. See you soon.